What's good, YouTube? In today's video, we're tearing down the engine of the XB. Now, if you saw in the last one, we got it out of the box, separated the transmission, and we got it onto the stand. Now, we need to make sure we take off all this extra stuff, all the sensors, all the pulleys, obviously alternator, compressor, all that good stuff. We're tearing it down to the complete, just the bare block, and then the bare head. All right, first, coil pack. Spark plug. Sheesh. Sheesh. All right. So, a quick look at these spark plugs. I did replace these probably about, no, I replaced these when I put the engine in the car, so about a year, and I've drove around 5K miles, so not too shabby. Obviously a little black, but that's normal, but there's no oil on them, so that's good. Put these to the side, and then we should be ready to take off the valve cover. And then this should just come out.
Oh, sweet. Look at that.
So many little things we gotta take off before we remove the cam gears. My VVT solenoid was loose, so maybe that's where it was leaking, because my shit was leaking oil. Move this shit. Take off these. There it is. Push for the axle. There it is. All right, so now we're figuring out how to put the engine in top dead center. Trying to think. So ChatGPT says we just turn the crank bolt until we see number 1 in top dead center. Crank pulleys lined up at 0. We marked the timing. Bro, the light from the fucking sun is crazy. All right, so now we're just gonna take off the cam gap gears. Apparently you go half turns at a time. This is a 12. This is a 10. There. All right, so this is the first one. I don't know if it's supposed to look like that. All right, so now that the cam gears are both out, we took out both tensioners. The belt is just laying down in there. Whew, making progress, making progress. Honestly, I really don't know what I'm looking at when I'm looking at these. So this is the 4th gear or 4th cylinder from the exhaust side. Kind of see, I mean, you can see those lines, but it's all soft. There's no like thick kind of like grooves that you could feel. Like, feels really soft. So hopefully there's no issues with any of these, and hopefully when we take these out, which we're like almost there, there's no issues with the actual cylinders. Whew. W's in the shot, man. We finally have the timing cover off. We removed the timing chain. I need to remove these 2 guides and remove the smaller chain, which I think it's just for the crank. And then the oil pan, the oil filter gave us some trouble, but it was because we were spinning it the wrong way. And yeah, I mean, honestly, under there, everything looks good. We actually, now because there's no oil, we could flip this if we wanted to. All these bolts, the oil pickup, all of that, get that shit all right. And then figure out what else we need to remove to get just a block. All right, next part is gonna be to remove the oil pump and the chassis. Cool. All right, so we're basically almost done. We do need to take off this 10 millimeter, it's a hex nut or something like that, or it's like a 12 or a 14, but I don't have any of these that fit a 3/8. I have a quarter or the smaller one, so I need to go get these from Harbor Freight really quick. After that, we should be ready to just take off the bottom end. We're making progress. We're like almost there. You know, this is a learning experience. I've never taken apart an engine, so we're learning as we go, but I think it's going pretty well. So luckily, Harbor Freight actually had the right hex bit socket. It's a 12 millimeter. Stick it in there and then just thread it. There is a 12 millimeter. Should just come right off. There it is. All right. Bottom end off. And there we have it. The block. That's actually crazy. Yo, what's good, guys? It's been a few days since the last time I recorded. I was waiting for two things to come in, and they came in today. Now, one was the tool to take out the valve springs. It's basically a compressor tool. I'll show you guys in a second. The second one is the right socket to take out the head bolts. Now, I already went ahead and took out the head bolts because they were a pain in the ass, because obviously they're torqued really high. And I got those out, but I'm going to show you guys the tool that you guys would need if you were going to do this on a 2AZ FE or a bunch of other Toyota engines. All right, so as you guys can see, these are all the head bolts, all 10 of them. Now, this is the right socket that I needed for the 2AZ FE. It's basically a 12 millimeter. It's a multi-spline star socket. I don't know, it was on Amazon. And this is the brand, Pingong. That, and then this is the right tool to take out the valve springs. Basically, you push that in there, hit it with a rubber mallet. This goes inward, which then helps the little metal piece right there separate, and the valve spring comes out. So I actually already started taking out the valve springs. We're actually going to go ahead and remove all the other ones, and I'm going to show you guys how it's done. Basically, all you need is that tool and a rubber mallet. So as you guys can see, I already took out the head bolts. So realistically, I should be good to separate the head from the block, but we're not going to do that yet. I do want to just take out all the valve springs. So the one I bought came with two different sizes. I guess one's metric and the other one is standard. So basically, all you're going to do is put it against the actual valve spring, press this down, and then all I did was hit it once. It didn't come out. And you can kind of hear it click. When it clicks, I put my hand and I hold the spring. And then as you guys can see, that little metal piece, it kind of like breaks. So just be careful. And yeah, let's kind of just fast forward and do all of these. And we'll probably time lapse it because these are gonna take a little bit. All right, so as you guys could see, all the valve springs are out of the head. Now, basically, we are going to kind of rubber mallet this enough to where it separates and we can get to seeing the head gasket. My motor never showed any issues of like there it is. Now, moment of fucking truth. Sheesh. Now, some of these ended up coming out. I do think I'm just going to end up replacing all of those just because why not? So if we look at the head gasket, honestly, it looks pretty good. Like, it doesn't even look super old. I watched a couple of videos, and what they could see is that these lines started to mix in here. And ours doesn't look like that. So I think this head gasket was good. Obviously, we weren't blowing smoke or anything like that, so it was pretty decent. But we are going to remove this. There it is. You just take it out. And then we are going to obviously replace this just because we're not trying to reuse it. Obviously, I do need to take off the bottom part so we could take off the pistons and the rods. But that is once we look at the head. All right, so there we have the bottom of the head. So I'm not too sure what all this kind of stuff means. They all look pretty even. This is the exhaust side. This is intake side. So does this mean that we were running lean on the exhaust side because those are lighter than these dark ones? That's a good question. I do have to just search up what that kind of stuff means. But yeah, I mean, it is apart now. Now we can get to turning this over to remove the crank, the rods, and then the pistons. All right, so we're back. We finally got the right sockets. Now I had to go to Harbor Freight and get a bunch of these 12-point sockets. I got both of the ones we need. It's a 12, it's a 14. Let's get this shit done so tomorrow we can take it to the machine shop. Now on the head side of things, we are going to take off all the caps or stems or whatever you like to call them. And then when we remove the pistons, we would just label those. Cool. Now let's get to the block and start removing the crank, the pistons, and the rods. I honestly have no idea how to remove any of these. And I actually didn't know that our thing has oil squirters in here. So what I'm gonna do is just loosen up the rods and we will go from there. Ah! Look at the piston, brother. Is that okay? What? That's crazy. Okay. All right, so there's kind of a lot going on. Here's the crank, the pistons and the rods, the head, and the bare block. Now, we are going to take this to the machine shop tomorrow morning. I'm gonna bring the heads, and I'll probably bring the rods and the crank just in case We're gonna get new pistons, new rods, and then a new crank. So I don't really think they'll need these or these, but we never know. We finally finished breaking down the engine. We got it down to just the bare block, the bare head, pistons, rods separated, the crank is off, all the bearings are off. Now time to take it to the machine shop. Now we're gonna take it to the machine shop tomorrow morning, but that's gonna be the next video because that's gonna be a whole thing on its own. So if they let me, I'm gonna try to record inside the machine shop, get some clips for you guys, and hopefully shout them out. Let you guys know that you guys have a local shop here in Tampa that you guys could go to. Now, we are just going to get it inspected, clean, and if they need to, they're going to, I think it's called honing it, where basically they need to make it slightly larger, so then we're gonna need larger rods. Honestly, I don't really know what a machine shop all entails. We're gonna just take it there so we could clean it and get it inspected just to make sure that when we throw our new rods in there, we're not just gonna bent one and fuck it up again and have to do all of this all over again. But if you guys are liking this series, hit the like and subscribe. We'll be back on the next one, and you guys stay tuned because you already know this shit's gonna be good. Let's go.